Hey class, this is Taylor Caldwell with my citation review. I'm going to start with my state statute that I found. I chose one at random. The one I chose is people who can't serve as jurors, which are felons or people who have been convicted of perjury or subordination of perjury. And we find this in Title 22 of Tennessee Code Annotated. Under juries and jurors, and then we find it in Chapter 1, qualifications and exemptions, and then we find it within that chapter, we find it in Part 100, Section 2, so 102, and this is how we cite that. We're going to start by stating the jurisdiction or the code where it comes from. So we find it in Tennessee Code Annotated. And we underline that because it is a book. And then next we're going to put the title of the code. And on my computer, I hold down Shift and Control, and then I do U plus 00A7, and I click Enter, and it gives me my symbol that I need. And the title was 22. And then next we're going to put the chapter within the title, which was Chapter 1. And then next, we're going to put the part, which was Part 100. So I'm going to put a 1. And then it was in Section 2 of Part 1. So I'm going to put 102. And the rule, as we can see on Westlaw, was effective date was January 1st, 2009. So we're going to put 2009 in parentheses for that. And that for the year, and that is how you properly cite this state statute. So next we're going to do my state case that I chose. I chose the State versus Davis. This is on Westlaw. So everything right here, we can see that this is the state of Tennessee versus Christopher A. Davis. It gives the location that it starts on page 600 in the third edition of the Southwest Reporter, and it is in volume 141 of the Southwest Reporter. And the decision was made by the Supreme Court of Tennessee. Right here, it states Supreme Court of Tennessee. On August 25th, 2005 is when the decision was made. So this is how we're going to cite that case. With state cases, you're going to start with the case title. It's going to come first. So we're going to name the parties. And it is going to be the state of Tennessee. So we're going to do state. State versus, and we're going to do what was in bold, which was Davis, because it is the last name of Christopher. We're not going to include first names. And then next we're going to put the volume of the reporter. So that was in volume 141, and it was in the Southwestern Regional Reporter, and it was in the third edition of the Southwest Reporter. So that's what we do next. And then we're going to put the page number that it started, which was on page 600 right here. And since it was decided by the Supreme Court of Tennessee, we're going to abbreviate that with Tennessee, TENN, with a period. And then we're going to put the date by the year that the opinion was published, which was in 2004. So we'll do 2004 and close the parentheses, and that's how we cite a state case. And for my final citation, we're going to do a federal case from the Sixth Circuit. So I chose Bass versus Leatherwood, and this was decided by the United States Court of Appeals from the Sixth Circuit, where Tennessee is located. Tennessee is located in the Sixth Circuit of the U.S. Court of Appeals. We find this case in the Federal Reporter of a third edition of the Federal Reporter, in volume 788. And the case starts on page 228, and this was decided in June 4th, 2015. And this is how we cite this case. In the Blue Book, it states to omit all names except the last names on either side of the V. So we're going to start with Myron Bass, and we're only going to use his last name. So we'll call it... We're going to start with the title of the case. So we'll do Bass versus Leatherwood. And then next, we're going to, like with the state case, we're going to put the reporter volume, which was 788. And then it was located in the Federal Reporter. So we abbreviate Federal Reporter with F. And it was the third edition of the Federal Reporter, so we write that with 3D. And it began, and next we're going to do the page number, which the opinion first starts, which is page 228. And this was decided again by the Sixth Circuit of the Supreme Court of Appeals, as we can see right here. So we're going to abbreviate sixth with the number 6 and then a TH. Circuit, CIR period. And it was decided in the year 2015. So we're going to close parentheses there. And that is how you cite a federal case.